Good afternoon, everybody. This is Patrick from Be Seen Solutions. Today we have an interview with the ABCs of digital marketing. Our interview today is with Matthew Whiteman. Matthew Whiteman is a 21-year Army major, retired Army major that has served multiple tours and has put his life on the line for America. In one of those tours, he was wounded, and he is a wounded warrior. And I mean that when I say wounded warrior because he is a real-life superhero. And Matthew, now that you're home and you're working in the civilian world, as I like to say, tell us a little bit about what you're doing and how you're making your career forward.
Well, thank you, Patrick. In the post-Army career, I was able to explore kind of something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and that's venture into the entertainment industry. When I was finishing up my time in 2013 and 2014, when I retired, I was using the LinkedIn platform to kind of get my message out there that I really wanted to venture into writing, specifically screenwriting. And I was noticed by a Canadian film executive producer who kind of took me under his wing, and he kind of developed my skill set a little bit more by teaching me about the industry and whatnot. And I told him that I had an idea for a film that was focused around Afghanistan and some of the problems that the vets have coming home, dealing with personal life crises and post-traumatic stress disorder and things like that. But I also had something on the side because I'm an avid baseball fan. I had a project about baseball, and that's what caught his attention. So to make a long story short with that, he asked me if I could take that concept, which I thought could be a feature film, and he said, if you could take that and blow that up into a 22-episode television series and come up with a mobile gaming platform that could complement it, it's a gaming adaptation of the series, then he'd be very interested. He and his studio up in Kelowna, British Columbia, is a Canadian film producer. And so we worked together for the first couple of years exclusively on this project, while at the same time, I've been working on the feature film side with the Afghanistan story and a couple other films. So what I've been doing, I've been using the LinkedIn network to try to grow my network of people in the film industry and the Major League Baseball and such like that would tie into the project. So I've been doing that for a while. I went back to film school for a year and a half during this time frame. And then as of late 2019, I had the opportunity to meet you through LinkedIn, and you talked about your company and the importance of linked lead generations for your business. So I decided to go with your company for a little while, for a few months, to see what exactly how I could grow the network a little bit better. And I'm going to tell you something, it really took off. I had a little bit more than 500 connections in these various industries. And because of your company and working exclusively one-on-one with you, I've been able to grow my network from 512 connections is what I originally had back in February of 2020 to well over 1,350 connections. And with the LinkedIn, the lead generation tool that I purchased and worked exclusively with you all, I was able to find, and this is something, a goal that I've been able to reach in such a short period of time, I was able to find a gaming studio that could help make the baseball game for the television series. I was able to get through probably about 25 or 30 studios, and a lot of them said that they weren't interested. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know what my portfolio was or where I was coming from. But I was able to impress a studio up in Los Angeles that has been willing to make the game itself. So at this point in time, I was switching focus to people in the financial industry to try to find an investor for the game. And all of a sudden, the COVID pandemic had hit, and I've had some interest in getting the project off the ground, but a lot of the investors told me, said, look, because of the COVID situation, we're going to be working on liquidating a lot of assets. So please kind of put the project on hold for 6 to 8 months and maybe re-engage at that point. But in the same time, thanks to Be Seen Solutions, I've been able to make all those connections and I'll be able to reach back at a later time. So currently I'm starting my third film project. I haven't gotten quite up to speed with the name and the log line. The log line is basically the concept of the story, but I will be getting into the action comedy genre. And that'll be a first time because all the other work that I've been doing for these past 5 to 6 years has been in the genre of drama. So I'm kind of venturing out to something that I haven't done yet, but I look forward to the challenge, and I continually look forward to be working with the Be Seen Solutions team because you guys have been fantastic.
Well, thank you for those compliments, and thank you for the opportunity to let us work with you. I say this, and I say this to be very direct with you. You should be creating. Um, you should be creating a movie or a gaming a game that's built around you as a real life superhero. I mean, Matthew, what you do and what you've done for our country is without question, we are forever grateful.
Thank
And
you.
I thank you explicitly for your service. I mean, there are people like you that give us the availability to have the comfort to work with you and work with anyone because of what you put on the line for us. You are that front line that lets us live the more comfortable life that we sometimes take for granted in the background.
No, it's very kind of you. I really appreciate that.
No, I thank you for all that you do. Knowing the COVID and knowing how it's working and how it's changed a lot of the landscape that we're in with right now. How have you kind of molded to that?
Well, as I mentioned previously, the great thing about the internet platform, LinkedIn, and such like that, you could do a lot of work from your office at home, and that's what I've been doing exclusively for a long period of time. But with the COVID piece, some of the contacts that I have made, we have been able to work some issues offline through emails, through phone calls, and such like that. That you can work around a national pandemic like this. But I think that moving forward, as things return to normal a little bit better.
Well, what we think of as normal.
What we think, and then of course we talk about like what the new normal is.
Yes, the new normal.
The new normal. I think that, for example, doing this video here, this interview today, I'm all the way in San Diego. You guys are all the way in New York, but we're able to connect pretty well through the technology and such like that. But I think at this point, my challenge again right now, trying to build both the video game and also work on professional screenwriting. While things are slowed down a little bit with the COVID, I can focus directly on the screenwriting piece because that doesn't really take too much away from the industry having to rely on other people for certain work or certain partnerships or stuff like that. When I work on the screenwriting stuff, I can focus on it from the office at home, and that's with or without being in the middle of a pandemic like this. But yes, the COVID has created some roadblocks, and this is for everybody. This thing is affecting everyone, but how it's affected me directly is that it looked like I was making some progress on getting to an investor for this game, and then all of a sudden, because of the financial situations, they're saying, okay, why don't we put the brakes on this project for a while and maybe revisit it later down the road.
Sure. Well, listen, it's an honor to work with you. It's a privilege to be your friend. We are so grateful that you're a part of the Be Seen family, as I like to say, as one of our clients and one of our partners and one of our working relationships. We're always looking forward to grow with you, and we're always here for you. And to use maybe terminology that you would kind of take into consideration and understand, we're in the trenches with you.
Thank you.
We're making sure that we do the best we can for you, and obviously we want to see all of your movies, all of your games come to a true fruition, come to a true success. And I give you this, I'm donating, if you ever decide to create a movie or a game with an Italian-American guy from Brooklyn, and you need somebody and you need a voiceover, I'm the guy.
The guy.
So, but I thank you. I thank you for taking the time today. Let me ask you this question so the LinkedIn world can know this and understand this. If they want to reach out to you, how do they find you?
Well, if I my LinkedIn page, it's Matthew P. Whiteman. Matthew P. is in Paul, and it shows the title as an independent screenwriter for episodic series and feature films, as well as an independent gaming content creator. That's my title under there. And as of a couple months ago, I was able to form an LLC, and I call it MW Entertainment LLC. So all the work, all the intellectual property that I'm working on, the films, I've done the TV series, I've done a short film, 2 feature films. I'm working on my 3rd feature film as of the last couple days is when we started the project. And all that stuff is shown on the front page of the LinkedIn profile. And it also goes into a little bit of my military career and some of the skill sets that I learned during my time in the military. Uniquely, I'm kind of a secondary skill set in the military. I was a linguist. I speak 7 languages, not fluently, but I speak Spanish and Portuguese quite fluently. And then I have some basic skill sets in Italian, German, French, and Russian. And those were all great because when I was in Afghanistan, I was able to use all those languages talking to people with the coalition forces, as well as the locals that came to Afghanistan through the country of Kyrgyzstan. They spoke Russian, so I was able to practice all that stuff there. It was a unique experience.
Wow, that really is amazing. It really is. I mean, like I said, it's a privilege to speak with you. I thank you for taking the time today. I thank you for the interview. Please, everyone on LinkedIn, please give Matthew a reach. Please look him up. Please contact him. Please inquire within all of his services and what he's able to do. And I know that you will be both very happy to deal with Matthew, as well as I'm sure he will to deal with you. I thank you today, Matthew, and I look forward to working with you down the road again.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you so much.